The appeal of the Doraemon features is these likable, gallant adventures. We use that word from now on frequently, why not? Doraemon, Nobita, and the gang, this time in the supernatural underworld. These great features of the Doraemon series, they really bring alive the possibilities of anime as an imaginative art form, displaying all of these wonderful creature designs and superpowers. Obviously the regular Doraemon television series wasn't exactly in line with this sort of fantasy storytelling, rather the films, and given how much profits these films would make, these Doraemon features were highly financed, allowing for so much realized possibilities of animation, creativity, experimentation. Doraemon, Nobita's adventures in the underworld, remains, I think, one of the more exciting thus far of the Doraemon features for this reason. You may be able to note in its sped up form even, this is displaying enormous, and I think about this, it's like all the Simpsons, when they did, my favourite Simpsons episodes tend to be Treehouse of Horror, especially Treehouse of Horror 5, the one from season 6 with the Shinning, Time and Punishment and Nightmare Cafeteria. I think the Simpsons had the opportunity to really congregate all of their most imaginative and off-the-wall ideas, which would otherwise have been inappropriate for the kind of, the family-oriented sitcom American satire formula, and pull it all together into this one glorious explosion of, showing off and tantalizing the viewers with the possibilities of the most financed animation IP in their given industries. The Simpsons in the United States, Doraemon in Japan. I have not been able to access English subtitles to Doraemon Movie 4, The Underwater Adventure, which I would love to see at this time, and so we're just going to be jumping ahead to 5, eventually 6, and a couple of the other ones from the 80s that I have access to, and at a more infrequent basis than before, as you probably realise, obviously. It's easy to put these films on in a lot of contexts, I think. They're, as opposed to the kind of saccharine nature of a lot of the Disney films around this time, Black Cauldron Accepted, that was a great one, or even a lot of other anime, which tends to fall into a, Disney-esque, sentimental, otherwise kind of soap opera-y teen drama, even at this time. If you haven't seen that Starship Troopers OVA, it's not quite genocide, but, there's, even within the anime form, sometimes we find ourselves lacking in this want for genuine creativity and freedom with the form, which rather the anime is just indulging in tropes of regular live action drama. It's almost as though people would prefer to see it in this anime context, and so that's what makes the most money. Now, Doraemon being such an elastic concept, it's and him in all of his possibilities as a creature, as an entity, as a fictional character. Obviously, whereas the appeal of the show was that uncanny, strange comedic element, fantastical element being grounded in an otherwise regular yet charming, I suppose, story about a schoolboy and his mates, the films allowed them the opportunity to demonstrate genre fiction parodies and expand upon what these fictions are capable of with the superior budgets of Doraemon films. God bless Doraemon, some of the most likable, easy viewing pictures ever realized. And as I was inferring earlier, as opposed to the annoyances and the kind of overly sanitized and spotty spots of humor in the Disney films from around this time, or other anime features, the Doraemon films feature a perfect blend of likability, animation ambitions, as well as entertaining, charming, and invigorating narratives. Doraemon and the gang going up against some antagonist, and we want them to succeed because they're likable in any context, obviously. And then we don't have any annoying message or pretension or cynical appeal to some sort of focus group decreed goal of attaining profits. The Doraemon films just know that if we tell a fun, exciting, visually interesting story starring Doraemon and the gang, we'll make money. Keep at it. Unfortunately, perhaps the labor laws in Japan in regard to animators weren't as ideal as they ought to have been, but if one positive came from this abuse of human work, it was these magnificent feature films featuring Doraemon, who is, of course, pretty damned awesome. Thanks again, my good and dear friends.